Hi dancers, I'm Jojo from Adult Ballet Collective, and today I wanted to share with you my personal journey as an adult ballerina. So for as long as I can remember, I have always wanted to do ballet. Unfortunately, it just wasn't on the cards for me as a child. My first experience with dancing was when my high school offered dance as a subject. So I wouldn't say my training was particularly technical. We would do hip hop for a term, then jazz, and then maybe contemporary. And then when I was old enough to get my first job, I actually started paying for my own dance classes outside of school. Luckily, a studio had just opened up across the road from where I lived, but unfortunately they didn't offer ballet. So I did get to try a range of different dance styles, and I was just so happy to be dancing at the time. I didn't mind. And that's when I realized I just really loved to dance. So when I graduated high school, I actually ended up moving from Perth to Sydney to attend university. And I studied a Bachelor of Media in Communications and Journalism. And during my 3 years at university, I actually got quite involved in competitive cheerleading. So even though I wanted to do ballet, I did try to take a couple of casual ballet classes on the side, but I had just come to terms with the fact that I was never going to be a ballerina. I just didn't think it was possible. But I was doing cheerleading and I was learning a lot about my body. I was really pushing it to the limits. I gained a lot of strength and a lot of flexibility, as well as body awareness and muscle memory. But unfortunately, I also gained a lot of injuries. So during the 3 years, I actually tore the ligaments in both my ankles on multiple occasions, tore the cartilage in both my knees, and I had dislocated my right hip. So I was pretty broken towards the end of my cheerleading career. And so when I finished university, I took quite a few years off in order to let my body recover and regain energy again. During those years, I did take some Pilates and barre classes, sort of more gentle workouts, in order to maintain some of my strength and flexibility that I worked so hard to build. And then during that time, I also had moved from Sydney to Melbourne. I started being an adult and I had a full-time job. I was working in advertising, and I also did content creation on the side. So I'll set the scene for you. We're in Melbourne. It's 2018. I was 23 turning 24, and I decided to start ballet. So even before I stepped into a studio, I did a lot of research. I wanted to know everything you could know about starting ballet as an adult. And then I took my first class at the Centre of Adult Education, and I feel so lucky because I had such an awesome first ballet teacher that really helped me build a strong and solid foundation and helped me understand my body as an adult and how I can make it work with the ballet form. This teacher also helped me grow and nurture my love for ballet and just left me wanting more. So I was doing more research, looking for more places to do ballet. I just wanted all of it. I just wanted to absorb as much as I could. So I also started taking some ballet classes at the Australian Ballet Studios, which I found out was around the corner from where I lived. And that was such an awesome experience as well because of the amazing teachers, but also the amazing facilities. You're dancing in professional studios with professional flooring and a live pianist. It was such a treat. I truly felt like I was in the right place at the right time, and that Melbourne was such an awesome place for me to start my ballet journey, especially because there was such a huge adult ballet community there in person. So during that year, I ended up taking about 3 classes a week, and I also worked quite closely with one of my ballet teachers who gave me specific exercises and strength work in order to build the strength and flexibility needed for point work as an adult. So I did a lot of that. I also did my own strength work at home and in order to work my turnout and to try and just fit that ballet mold a little bit better. And keep in mind, I was also working full-time in advertising, so 40 hours a week, and also doing all my content creation, which generally took up my weekends, and trying to have a social life, I guess. So then in November 2018, I got the green light from my teacher that I was ready for point work. So I went and got my first point shoes. I was fitted in Block Southgate. I will talk more about my point journey as an adult in a separate video, but I feel so lucky that I was actually fitted by one of my teachers at the Australian Ballet. So I thought that that was such a great opportunity for me to be fitted by someone who already knew my feet. And then in December 2018, I started the Adult Ballet Collective. So as I mentioned, throughout my whole ballet journey so far, I had done a lot of research. And while there is a lot of resources out there for adult ballet dancers, a lot of it was quite hard to come by. So I thought, wouldn't it be great if we had this collective hub, an online community where people could go and access free resources that could enhance their ballet journey, and to also read about people's experiences. That was something that I was definitely very, very interested in. Whenever I would meet someone new, I'd always chat to them and ask them, what made you start ballet as an adult? How long have you been doing it? You know, just why? Because I just think it's so fascinating, because it's something that I truly love so much. Okay, so during that time, even though I just got my point shoes, unfortunately I couldn't do many classes on point because it was the end of the year, so everything was kind of wrapping up. But also my husband and I had just made the decision that we wanted to move from Melbourne to the south coast of Sydney. So it was a big time of transition for me. I was pretty disappointed that I didn't get to really start my point journey then. But then it all really started after we moved, and we moved to the south coast of Sydney, as I mentioned, and that's where we are now. That was really scary for me because I'd visited this place a few times, but I'd never really lived here. And I was also moving from studios that only had classes for adult ballet dancers to a dance studio that catered for everyone. And I was scared that I would have to take classes with children, or that there wouldn't be much of an adult ballet community. But when I got here and I started taking my dance classes, I was welcomed with open arms, and I feel so lucky to be part of such a positive and encouraging environment with my current ballet teacher now, who has really taught me so much in terms of just ballet technique as well as enhancing my journey on point as an adult. So when I moved here, I started taking about 5 classes a week. I know it sounds like a lot, but I really wanted to commit and immerse myself in dance, and I wanted to improve and absorb as much as I could. Now, as we were working full-time, we obviously had to quit our jobs when we moved, and that was one of the reasons why we moved as well, because we wanted a more simple life where we wouldn't be working all the time, and we wanted to try and enjoy our life as it comes. So I actually started working at the dance studio part-time, helping out with some admin projects and things like that. So that was in 2019. And then at the beginning of this year, so 2020, I actually started working at the studio as an assistant teacher as well, helping out with some preschool classes, doing ballet, tap, jazz and tumbling. And that's been super fun. And all while that, I've also been taking my ballet classes. I've also started adult contemporary last year, which was really cool. And then this year I also started adult tap, which has been really fun because like noisy shoes make dance fun. And you know, it was all going really, really well. Then COVID-19 hit. So obviously the dance studio had to close, and you know, that was all a bit crappy because I really felt like I was on track to where I wanted to be. I felt like I was making lots of progress in ballet and on point. But I suppose when the COVID-19 hit, it gave me a lot of time to reflect and to think. It also allowed me to work on the Adult Ballet Collective a lot more. And I suppose during that time, you know, we still took a lot of our ballet classes online. I now have a setup in my home where I can dance whenever I want, which is amazing. So in the end, I suppose it's really enhanced my ballet journey in a way that I didn't expect it to. I do hope when it's all over that I can go back and become an assistant teacher again, because I really, really enjoyed working with children. And it was such an amazing thought to have that I'd been wanting to dance all my life and to have a career in dance, But to be able to do it now as an adult, even though I won't be a professional dancer, I can still make money from doing something I love, and I think that's, you know, really, really special. So I can't believe how much dance and ballet has actually changed my life. I've only been doing ballet for just over 2 years, which doesn't sound like a long time. I'm 26 now. But it really has changed my perspective on a lot of things. So I truly believe that it's important to do something that you love. It's never too late to try something, especially something new and something that you didn't think that you could do. Because something like ballet is hard, and we come to ballet as an adult with our bodies already formed, and we bring our experiences with us. But that's what makes the journey so much more special. So I hope you enjoyed listening to my ballet journey. I would really love to connect with all of you and to hear about your journeys as well. I think we just have such an amazing community out there, and it's truly so special to me. So thanks for watching. Bye.